Hi, today I'm going to do a comparison product video for you. I'm going to be comparing two different types of cookies, and you're probably thinking, why cookies? Well, just because you're a celiac or you're gluten-free, it doesn't mean that you don't have a sweet tooth every now and then. So the cookies that I'm going to compare are two different type of chocolate sandwich cookies with vanilla in the middle. Manufacturer of these cookies are K2's, K-Toos, and Glutino, Glutino. I'm going to put pictures up so you can see the actual packaging. One of the things that I want to point out about these products is that they are both very similar and they both have very subtle differences. I found this product at Whole Foods. They were on the shelf just a couple of inches away from each other, and it all depends on what your likes and dislikes are. You may choose to alternate between both products, or you may choose to favor one. I personally alternate between either product, but my personal preference is to lean a little bit more toward the K2s, and I'll go into that in detail with you as we go through the comparison video. This is the actual Glutino cookie. It's not enlarged, or the image size is not being altered. It looks in many ways similar to an Oreo cookie, and I'm going to hold it up to the side for you so that you can see the cream insert in the center. This is the K2 cookie. Again, the image size is not altered. I'm not zooming in on it. This is the actual size of the cookie. And you can see it also has a cream center on the inside. Now that you've seen both of the cookies individually, you may think that they're very much similar. What's the difference? Now I'm going to show you the subtle differences between the two that may or may not, tickle your fancy. So one of the things that I want to bring up is that I became diagnosed with celiac disease, although I've had it all of my life, as the doctors have told me, after I've had my fair share of Oreos. So when I compared these cookies, I was looking for something that resembled an Oreo cookie, and that necessarily wasn't the case. I had to readjust my thought process and realize that when you take the gluten out of food, you take a lot of the taste that becomes familiar to you out of the food, and you're starting to substitute it with other things. So now that I showed you what was similar with these cookies, I'm going to now show you what appears to be pretty different. Now that we're looking at the cookies side by side, I'm going to point out a couple of differences. This is the cookie from K2's. This is the Glutino cookie. If you'll notice, the Glutino cookie has the holes on the tops and they're more pronounced, whereas the K2 does have slight holes on the top, but it's not as defined as the Glutino cookie. Or Glutino. I might be mispronouncing it, but I apologize if I do also. And then it looks like there's a teeny weeny bit of size variation in there. And for the most part, all of the cookies in the pack, there's a difference in the way they're assembled. This cookie here has a little bit more cream flowing out of it. This cookie here is more defined. So now that you've seen them side by side, you can see that there's a variation in the way that the cookies appear. Okay, so now that we talked about appearance, we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty and we're going to talk about taste. It all depends on the level of sweetness that you like. The K2 cookie, in my estimate, tastes more like an Oreo, while the Glutino cookie doesn't have that sweetness in the chocolate. It's sweet, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't kind of have that same type of sweetness that you would find in an Oreo cookie. The cream on the inside, exactly the same. I could not find any difference in the taste. And one of the other things that I also noticed too was that there was a little bit more of the cream in the middle of the cookie on the side for Glutino. So if you want more of the cream in the middle, then that's going to be your cookie. If you want more of a richer, sweeter, chocolatey taste to the cookie itself, then you're going to have to go with the K2. So let's take the cookies apart so you can see the inside of them. Okay, so now that we talked about appearance, we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty and we're going to talk about taste. It all depends on the level of sweetness that you like. The K2 cookie, in my estimate, tastes more like an Oreo, while the Glutino cookie doesn't have that sweetness in the chocolate. It's sweet, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't kind of have that same type of sweetness that you would find in an Oreo cookie. The cream on the inside, exactly the same. I could not find any difference in the taste. And one of the other things that I also noticed too was that there was a little bit more of the cream in the middle of the cookie on the side for Glutino. So if you want more of the cream in the middle, then that's going to be your cookie. If you want more of a richer, sweeter, chocolatey taste to the cookie itself, then you're going to have to go with the K2. So let's take the cookies apart so you can see the inside of them. Okay, first we're going to start with the K2. There we go. This is the inside of the cookie, and you remember I said that there was a little bit more cream to this cookie. So here it is. Now we're going to put this aside. I apologize. We're taking apart the Glutino cookie, and as I mentioned before, there is a little bit more cream to the inside of this. Much more cream than I would have thought of. Not as much cream as you would find in a gluten-filled Oreo, but there is cream inside of here. Now we're going to go to the K2 cookie. There's a little bit less cream, and now you can actually start to see the difference in the size of the cookie. So I'm going to go back to the K2 and the Glutino, and you can see the subtle differences in the cookie. Also, I'm not sure if you can see it on film, but I'm hoping that you can. This cookie, the K2 cookie, has a more richer, darklit coloring to it, and I think that's more of a that contributes to more of the chocolatey taste to it. I'm not exactly sure 100%, but I'm just giving you my personal assessment. And there you have it in a nutshell, what these two cookies look like and what they're different. So now you're asking what my final verdict is. So now that you've seen the differences, I'll tell you which one is my preferred cookie. The K2. The K2 just has a more richer chocolate taste that I like. Doesn't mean that the Glutino cookie is not good. Like I said in the beginning, it all depends upon your preference and what you're looking for in a cream sandwich cookie. I buy them both, but if I was going to the store and I was going to pick one off the shelf over the other, it would definitely be the K2. Thanks for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Love you, XOXO Dawn. Bye.